Hello everyone. Today we're going to make some chicken broccoli fritters. We're going to make some side dishes with some bok choy, some lime rice, and a salad. But to start with, we need chicken. You can use raw chicken, and if you're going to use raw chicken, make sure you cut it up into little pieces so it'll cook evenly and quickly. Today we're using leftover rotisserie chicken. So let's get started and see what we come up with, okay? Here we have broccoli for our chicken broccoli fritters. We're going to cook the broccoli, steam it about 75% done. I'm going to show you an easy way to do that. We're going to be using our broccoli in two different dishes tonight. First, it's going to be, the main dish is the chicken broccoli fritters, and then we're going to put a little bit of the broccoli in our lime rice. To steam it properly and quickly, we can do that in the microwave. Use a microwave safe bowl and then cover it with wet paper towels. I have here a couple paper towels and we're going to cover this really well. Now it's ready to go into microwave for about 5 or 6 minutes. Check it to make sure that it's nearly completely done. It does not have to be fully cooked, but you want it to be about 75% or so done. Here's our broccoli. It's about 75% cooked. We're going to use that in the two different dishes. What you want to do at this point is let it cool down because it's hot. Let's cut up some of our other vegetables. We've got some scallions, some green onions, and we have some bok choy. Now, as I've said before in prior videos, when you're working with green onions or leek onions or bok choy or cabbage, make sure that you rinse it well. Bok choy is famous for having sand and dirt and even little bugs in it. None of it will hurt you. Make sure that you rinse it well. When chopping up your scallions, make sure to rinse them again. Even though you rinse them well and clean them, after you've chopped them up, rinse them again and let them drain. Make sure to shred your carrots. We need 1 big carrot or 2 small ones. With our carrots, we'll put in some extra onions, some chopped onions, about a handful. This is optional, but I happen to have some frozen chopped bell peppers, so throw in a handful of those. We had chopped up some scallions earlier. Now remember, make sure you have enough scallions on hand. We're going to use them on 3 different dishes: the chicken broccoli fritters, the bok choy stir fry, and the lime rice. So make sure you have enough on hand. We want to add in 3 eggs. We can now add some cheese. We want to put in about a 1/4 cup of feta cheese, crumbled. And you want to put in about a cup of mozzarella cheese. However, I'm going to use ricotta cheese today. Happen to have this on hand. I want to use it up. It's time to add in some seasoning. I'm going to put in some garlic salt. Be careful how much salt you put in it. If you don't trust the amount of salt, don't use garlic salt, use garlic powder. You put the spices into your taste, about a teaspoon to a couple of teaspoons of each. Try to break up your broccoli into little pieces. You could use a potato masher, or you could use a couple of knives. Tonight we have enough broccoli on hand for our chicken broccoli fritters, and I'm saving some of it for our lime rice. Now it's time to add some broccoli. Let's get this all stirred up. Now that it's all stirred up, we can make some little patties and fry these things up. They're going to be delicious. When chopping up your bok choy, try to separate the larger white pieces, these harder pieces, from the green pieces, or from the green sections. What we want to do is cut off these little bottoms, mainly because they just look ugly. And then we can cut these off in bite-sized chunks. It's okay if a little white is left on with the green and a little green is left on with the white. That just happens because of the way they grow. But this cooks a little longer than the green part, so you want to separate them at this point. So we'll throw this in into our stir fry first for a few minutes, and then we'll add the green parts later. To prepare for our stir fry, we're going to mix in some butter, a couple tablespoons of butter with a couple tablespoons of olive oil, a couple tablespoons of minced garlic, a handful of green onions, and a handful of some white onions, all chopped up. We want to mix in our bok choy whites. Saute that for a few minutes. Then we can add in some spices. A little bit of cumin, some pepper, let's add in some soy sauce, about a quarter cup. It's time to add in our bok choy greens. And I had a few mushrooms, so I'm going to put those in too. When making rice, remember to use a good quality jasmine rice, follow the directions, and substitute chicken broth instead of water. The rice will taste good automatically. So however much water this calls for, use chicken broth instead. Let's finish up our lime rice. I have here our rice cooked in chicken stock or chicken broth, some fresh scallions, and I'm going to use the zest of a lime. Some minced garlic, some lime juice, the balance of our broccoli. Let's get that all mixed up. We want to mix in a couple tablespoons of butter and a little bit of salt. Let's make some homemade dipping sauce. Sour cream, about a half a cup of sour cream, and about a tablespoon of mayonnaise. A splash of your Worcestershire sauce, a sprinkle of cayenne pepper. Depending on how hot you want this, you could put more than that. A splash of hot sauce, some parsley, some minced onions or chopped onions, garlic powder, some Cajun seasoning, and a little bit of this ranch seasoning blend. Juice from half a lemon. Once you get that all mixed up, cover it up and put it in the fridge until you're ready to use it. Okay, it is time to eat. We have our chicken broccoli fritters with our lime rice. I like to finish mine off with some fresh tomatoes. Smells delicious. We have over here our bok choy stir fry with some mushrooms and a fancy salad. Over there we have our homemade dipping sauce for our fritters. So let's eat. Thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Okay, bye-bye.